classic way to preserve fresh truffles today. So good. Reason not very expensive at all. This is Tartufata mushroom truffle sauce. Sauce is kind of a misnomer here. So basically, if you've been to specialty grocers and things like that, and you've seen these little jars of, it says truffle and mushroom sauce or truffle sauce, this is Tartufata. And it's basically white button mushrooms with 3% or like a tiny bit of truffle and then a little bit of truffle oil, and it's an absolute joke, and you should never buy the stuff in the stores. It's a way for companies to say that there's truffle in something when actually they're using, probably old B-grade summer truffles, and all the flavor comes from commercial truffle oil. But if you make it at home, this stuff is so freaking good. All you're going to do is basically we're going to make some kind of roasted mushroom duxelle here. We just want to get all of the water out. This is a traditional oil-based preserve. And, if you look at a package or something or a jar, it'll say that this will last for 3 or 5 days. It's going to last a lot longer than that. I mean, I would eat it after a month or two. I will instruct you to eat it after a week or two. But, you get the idea there. So we're oiling these mushrooms, and then we're adding a decent amount of salt, and then we're just going to roast these until all the water is gone. And the pan is basically dry, and they're caramelized. Then we're going to add a little bit of garlic. This is optional, but it's good. And we want to cook the garlic a little bit. So I have this hot pan. I'm going to put that back in the oven for just a minute or two, just until it sizzles, just to kind of cook it with the residual heat. I don't want to brown it, but I do want to take the raw off. Then we're going to add a little bit of chopped fresh thyme. Thyme is also optional here, but it's very good, just a little bit. And then we will mix everything together there, and we'll make sure this is completely cool before we process it. Now we have the cooled mushrooms. So I'm going to put a little oil in. That's my homemade truffle oil from my truffle slices in oil. You can use just regular oil because you're going to add a little bit of truffle. And now we just pulse these in the food processor. The beautiful thing about pulsing cooked mushrooms is that because they've been cooked beforehand, they're not going to become a paste. If you put fresh mushrooms into a food processor, they can make a paste, and you're not going to have these nice, very small particles, which is exactly what you want here. You're basically going for an oil-based mushroom spread. So I won't add all of the oil, but I'm going to add more oil here. Now I'm going to take a small truffle. This is about a ½ ounce of bianchetto truffle or tuber borkii. You could use any of your favorite truffles. It's a great place to use cheap truffles or truffle shavings. That's what this is traditionally made with, is like truffle scraps and things like that. It's a way to extend the harvest and stretch the little truffles, because the oil here, like I said, this is an oil-based preserve. The oil is going to soak up all of that truffle aroma, and it's going to flavor the mushrooms. It's a really good place to use cheaper truffles or truffle shavings, and we're going to add about ½ of a cup total of oil, and then a little bit extra just to top the jars off. So this is why the salt is important. This is, heavily seasoned. So you can just eat this like a spread. It's super rich, but you need the salt because it's a preservative, because there's no vinegar in this. And you wouldn't want to put any vinegar in this. This is just, it is so good. I mean, just like eating on a cracker or tossed with a little bit of warm pasta. We will top the jar off, put a lid on. How to use it, super simple. Do not boil it. Don't cook it. Add it to something like a piece of toast. Spread it on that. Put some truffle slices on top. Eat it with a cracker. Toss it with some hot pasta. Because this is made with, homemade truffle oil or fresh truffles, it's not going to have that crazy strong Axe body spray flavor that commercial truffle oil will have. Some more ideas of things you can make, and the full recipe is on my website. There's a link at the top of the video description for that. Thanks for watching.